Welcome to I'm No Rookie, the podcast for beauty, spa, and wellness professionals who are ready to pivot their careers and share their expertise with the next generation. So whether you're exploring education as a new direction, expanding on your skills, or diving into training roles, this podcast is here to guide you every step of the way. I'm your host, Ayo, and today I'm going to be tackling the top 5 big questions aspiring educators are thinking about, they're asking. This is all part of what they're doing to consider making that leap into teaching. Now, I know firsthand how overwhelming it can feel when you're stepping into the unknown. Those doubts and questions aren't signs of weakness, they're signs that you're thinking intentionally about your next move. So today we're going to dive into those concerns and answer them with hopefully practical advice and some real strategies, and yes, a few stories from my own journey to help you along the way. So the first question is, how do I know if teaching is right for me? This is an important question. It's easy to think I've been hands-on for years as a therapist. What if teaching doesn't come naturally to me? So let me share a quick story. I remember one of my students who was transitioning from a spa therapist role into education. She doubted herself because she'd never been in a formal teaching position before. But here's what I told her. Think about the times you've already taught without even realizing. And from Sarah, it was mentoring, when she had to mentor like new team members at her spa, teaching them how to do a perfect massage technique or understanding product benefits. She realized she loved those kind of moments and that teaching wasn't about standing at the front of the room. It was about sharing what she knew and helping others to grow. If you are asking yourself whether teaching is right for you, start by reflecting on the moments when you've already shared your knowledge. Did you feel excited, fulfilled? If the answer is yes, teaching might just be your next step. The second question, how do I transition into teaching roles without giving up my current role? This is such a common question. So how do I explore teaching without kind of walking away from my full-time job? The good news is you don't have to dive in headfirst. One of the earliest ways to start is by freelancing or running small workshops. For example, I know beauty therapists who started offering evening skincare workshops at her salon. It gave her a chance to kind of dip her toes into teaching while still maintaining her regular role. Another great option is online teaching. Platforms like System.io, where you can create your courses, Thinkific, Teachable, just to name a few, kind of make it easy to create short courses on topics you're passionate about. And because you're going to pre-record them, you can fit them around your existing schedule. The key is to approach teaching as an extension of what you're already doing. It's not about choosing between two paths. It's about finding a way to combine them both. The third question, what are employers looking for in new educators? So now let's talk about what employers actually want from educators, whether you're applying for a role as a lecturer, a spa trainer, or brand educator. One thing I've noticed is that employers are increasingly looking for specialists. For example, I've seen jobs posting for skincare brands that specifically asking for knowledge on anti-aging treatments, advanced skincare analysis, or even experience working with certain product lines. Here's my advice. Start by researching the kinds of roles you're interested in, look at the job descriptions, and make a list of the key skills and the qualifications that they ask them for. Then compare that to your own current CV. Are there gaps that you need to fill? Even if you don't have direct experience in every area, focus on showing how your existing skills are transferable. And if there's a specific qualification or skill that you're missing, invest in that and go all in. This approach not only helps you stand out, but also positions you as someone who's kind of proactive and adaptable. The fourth question, how do I stand out as an educator in a competitive field? I get it. There's lots of talented people entering the education space. So how do you make sure you get noticed? One angle, I think, is deciding whether you want to be a specialist or a generalist. So, do you want to focus on one specific area like skincare or massage therapy? Or do you want to teach a broad range of topics? There's no right or wrong answer. It depends on what lights you up and what opportunities align with your goals. For example, I know a trainer who became an expert in working with sensitive skin conditions. She built a name for herself because she focused on a niche that not many others were specializing in. On the other hand, I've worked with educators who love teaching a variety of treatments and thrive in college settings where they can cover everything. Another way to kind of stand out is by building a strong personal brand, like using platforms like LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube to showcase your expertise. And don't be afraid to tell your story. Like, share what led you to teaching, what you're passionate about, and how making that can be an impactful kind of angle. And people also connect with authenticity. So let your personality shine. It's so important. And then the fifth question is, what if I don't know the answer to a student's question? This is one of the most common fears I hear, and one of the ones that I actually had. It wasn't in a teaching setting, but I was doing a presentation to a group of about 30 employees. So let's go back to it. What if someone answers me a question and I don't know the answer? First and foremost, you're not meant to know everything. It's okay, right? You're not a walking encyclopedia, and your learners don't actually expect you to know everything. But here's a strategy I've used to turn the question into a learning opportunity. For example, if a student asks something you're unsure about, you can kind of delegate and say, that's a great question. Why don't you research it and share your findings with the group? This not only takes the pressure off you, but also encourages critical thinking and collaboration. I've had students come back with brilliant insights, and it's created some kind of the best conversations and discussions in the classroom. So don't feel like these moments of failure because you don't know the answer. There's an opportunity to model curiosity and problem solving for your learners. So these are the key 5 questions that I've heard and also I've had prior to going into the education sector. And if you have any other questions, you're like, my God, I've got another one. I don't know how to kind of address it or move forward. Feel free to message me. You can always find me on LinkedIn, and you can also find me find Developing Educators Academy on Instagram. But the main thing is the questions that you have, sometimes these questions are not going to be answered prior to getting into the industry. You've just got to take that leap. You've got to take that courage. But like I said before, if you have things like, how do I kind of go about doing this? Message me. So whether you're just starting out to explore teaching or already on the path, remember that every step you take is a step closer to making a real impact in the industry. And remember, you're no rookie. You've been in this field. You've got the experience. You've got the knowledge. It's just time to use your expertise to inspire others. So stay confident, keep learning, and I'll see you on the next episode of I'm No Rookie.